Welcome everybody to DeFi Angels Token Talk. We've had a little bit of a hiatus. We haven't been on Twitter in a bit. Happy to be back. I'm your host, A. With me is Susie. Hi, Susie.
Hi.
Susie's here chatting, monitoring chat, speaker requests and such. I also want to recognize Kay. She's up here as a speaker. Kay does a lot of work putting these Twitter spaces together. So thank you, as always. And I'm just going to do a quick introduction of the DeFi Angels if you haven't heard of us. We are an investment community in the decentralized finance or DeFi sector. Our work and passion includes smart capital, investing and building into projects, our WIN or Women's Investment Network, which is a safe space where women can earn and learn. You may be familiar with some of our Telegram groups, which include our Deal Flow, Shill Space, and our Discovery channel where we expose scams. Our partnerships blend the work that the DeFi Angels are known for with other companies that include crypto mining, crypto tax services, crypto IRAs. And you can go to defiangels.com to learn more and follow us on Twitter as our reach continues to expand. So the ground rules here are really basic. Please respect us and each other. We try to have only one person talking at a time. We do try to keep these spaces to an hour or so. Although if we do have some additional time, folks want to stick around at the end and chat some more, we can keep it open for a little bit longer. If you are a listener, please raise your hand to speak. We do have 4 guests tonight. So if folks do have questions, we do try to answer questions. If you're in any of our DeFi Angels Telegram groups, I'm not sure if anybody's monitoring those chats. You might want to try to ask a question in our, any suggestions in case we can't get anybody up here as a speaker? I know when we have 4 speakers, sometimes it's hard to get listeners up as speakers.
I mean, I don't know if you have any time and you want to remove me as a speaker or something, then that's fine.
Okay. I think we still have some space for, let me see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we have at least 2 or 3, right, Susie? 2 or 3 extra spaces for folks to come up as speakers if we do have time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. And so tonight we've got some really fantastic projects here today as our guests. The format today is going to be really informal. I'm going to start with introductions one by one, and then we'll go through some questions to open up conversation. And at that point, I won't be calling on any one of our projects specifically. Speakers can respond as they're ready. So let me start with Sphinx. Please introduce yourself and your project briefly.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, first of all, thank you guys for inviting us on for Token Talk. It's always a pleasure being hosted by the DeFi Angels team. I know we had an AMA with you guys a few months ago, which was wonderful. But getting into it, my name's B. I am the co-founder of Sphinx Labs. We've been around for about a year as a project. Our very first iteration of our DEX launched, I believe, last August. And as a project and as a platform, our goal has always been to create something that seasoned DeFi participants can utilize to streamline their experience, and newcomers can use as more of a seamless on-ramp to crypto and DeFi as a whole, and really create something that can facilitate more mass adoption in the space. And so over the last year, what we've gone ahead and done is we've built number one, our own DEX. So we have our own native router. We are able to host our own LP. If you go on to CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, any tokens that launch on our DEX or put LP on our DEX can be tracked there. But in addition to that, we have an aggregator too. So from our platform, you can trade Uniswap LP on Ethereum. You can trade PancakeSwap LP on the BSC. And we have access to a newer chain as well called Brise, as well as plans to integrate other EVMs. So we have the swap. We also have staking and farming available as well. We've integrated our own launch pad. So projects who want to raise, they can come onto our pad. They can raise on any of the chains we have available. There's functions in our pad where they can vest tokens as well. Basically, anything that they would need to do as a project that wants to come on and launch, we have the ability to do that. And in addition to it, if they need additional support in terms of contract development, audits, etc., we're able to provide that for them as well. Um, Aside from that, we have our NFT ecosystem. So we have 4 NFT collections right now, just spread across the chains that we're live on. So we're live on Ethereum, BNB chain, Kronos, and Brise. And each chain has its own set of around 2,000 NFTs. On our Ethereum side, holding those NFTs gives individuals uh, a percentage of royalties from the bridge, which the bridge I'll talk about in a bit. And then for the other 3 chains, the BNB chain, Kronos, and Brise, holding those gives individuals whitelist access. Just you're grandfathered into whitelist access for any pre-sales that have whitelists. So you don't have to grind in the communities or do a bunch of extra tasks just to get on. Just holding the NFT gives you access for that, as well as some amazing NFT staking pools. So um, we have a single staking pool for the NFTs where people can come and just stake the NFT itself and earn Sphinx on that chain. So for the BNB chain, Brise and Kronos, if you stake a Sphinx NFT, then you earn, Sphinx Brise or Sphinx Crow or Sphinx BSC. And we also have a dual staking pool, so you can stake your NFT in addition to your Sphinx to earn yield in the native token. So people are earning actual yield in BNB and in Crow and in Brides by staking their NFT in conjunction with their Sphinx tokens. But what we're most excited about, what we've been working on for quite a while, is our mobile app. So what we went ahead and did is we took just about every facet, every utility that we have live on our decks right now, live on our web app, and we packaged that and streamlined it into a mobile app. So, you can do your swaps, you can do your staking, do your farming, etc. on our decks natively within the app. And, obviously, any other dexes that we tap, the routers that we tap, you'll be able to trade from their decks as well. Um, and as of last night as well, we just pushed an update where people can go straight from fiat into the crypto of their choice. So you can bypass using a SEX and just purchase straight to your wallet. And the next update that we're going to push is going to have crypto to fiat withdrawal. So you'll be able to withdraw directly to your bank account as well. So the reason why we're so excited about that is just because um, when whether you're seasoned or not, and I think especially if you're newer or you have a friend or family member who's excited about crypto and wants to get involved, you know, taking them through the typical steps to onboard them, it gets a bit tedious. By the time you're finished, maybe they're not so excited anymore. Maybe they're just a bit confused, you know, whether it comes down to helping them make that account on a centralized exchange, whether it's, Coinbase, Kraken, Binance, whatever it is, and saying, oh, okay, now you have to buy this. You have to buy Ethereum, you have to buy Bitcoin. Or if, they want to buy BNB, if you're here in the US, you can't do that directly. So now they have to withdraw to a wallet and convert here and bridge there, and it can be overwhelming. And so, one of our biggest goals has been to like I said, create a platform that can streamline that process. So now it's as simple as, hey, download your app, um, put in your payment information, and you can just push a button and buy. And when you're ready to withdraw, with the coming update, sell it, and you can now withdraw back to your bank account. So that's just a not so quick overview of who we are, what we've been working on, um, yeah, and what we're bringing to the space.
Thank you so much for that. And I am so glad to hear an update. I was on that AMA. It feels like years ago at this point in crypto world. It kind of is years, even when it is
Yeah,
just months. But you guys, I love to see how much you have grown since then. It's amazing, how quickly all of these projects grow. And I see you guys and all of our guests here. I'm loving. We use the word utility very broadly when we speak in crypto, and I'm loving just kind of all of the problems that are being solved with the quote unquote utilities that these projects have going on, and just kind of the ease of use. Providing things like dApps, using integrating projects into mobile apps so that people can actually use this outside of traditional crypto spaces. So I thank you for the update. And yes, feel free to tell us more as we continue our conversation.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So I'm going to move on to Gold Mint Finance. Welcome. Please introduce yourself and your project briefly.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Susie, Kay. We're really excited to be here. We are Goldman Finance. For anyone who hasn't heard of us, I see some of our participants in the audience. Sphinx, we were just on an AMA with, but there's some new friends too. We are an algo stable on Ethereum, and we are pegged to PAX G. So if you've not heard of PAX G yet, the first thing I'm going to do is explain to you real quick what PAX G is. So PAX-G is the largest gold-backed stable coin on Ethereum or on any network. So PAX-G is issued by Paxos. They have a PAX-G and actually a Pax dollar. They issue stable tokens. So their PAX-G token is 1-to-1 backed by an ounce of gold. So they literally have an ounce of gold in a vault in London with a serial number that goes with your token that corresponds. So some of our bigger holders, and we'll get into this, they'll actually look up their serial numbers to see like what ounces of gold they own. So that's what we did that's a little different. And for anyone who doesn't know about algo stables or Tomb Finance or Great Finance or some of these protocols that have done something similar, what we use is elastic supply. We have a goal price in mind and we try to achieve that. And our goal price is the price of PAX G. So the way we achieve that is by increasing or reducing our supply based on the current demand. So we're a newer protocol right now. We're in a situation where we're trying to utilize our bonds and we're trying to reduce our supply so that we can grow and reach that price point of PAX G. So you'll find if you jump over into our Discord or you jump over into our app, what we're doing right now is at first going to be some of the things you're familiar with other algo stables. We have a peg token. It's pegged to PAX G. Our main peg token is called Goldmint. It wants to be worth the price of an ounce of gold. When it's under the price of an ounce of gold, we do big things to incentivize a bond token. And our bond Goldmint token, when purchased, burns a Goldmint token and removes it from existence. So we do a lot to support that part of the ecosystem to incentivize people to burn Goldmint when we're not hitting our goal price. And then we also have a share and a reward token that we issue to people who participate in a healthy fashion. They might provide LP, which all protocols desperately need, is people to provide LP to the liquidity pools. We're on Uniswap. We like to have a big LP. We're a high value token with a gold price range of a little bit over $1,700 right now. So that's what we do, and we support that ecosystem in a variety of ways. And I'll try to, in hopes of keeping this short, I'll say we do the things that are standard with any other tomb fork or algo stable. We're going to reduce supply when we're not where we want to be, and when we're going to increase supply when we're over where we want to be. But we have a lot more than that. We also have a synthetic node program that's really popular that allows people to stake and kind of make a 90-day commitment to our ecosystem.
Did I get
And this protocol rewards its healthiest and best participants. So like anyone who's willing to contribute for that long of a time frame has the ability to access some pretty generous rewards. I think our nodes right now are around 1.5% a day for 90 days. So that's like 144% a quarter. And again, we're a token that's pegged to gold. So we're seeking stability in a tough market. And we're hoping that that resonates with people. And we found, and we'll talk about this later, that it has resonated a lot with the community. And there's a reason we're seeing some growth right now. But that's who we are, some of the things we offer. And I'll touch a little later on some of the things we have coming out and things like that. But that's a little bit about Goldman. And again, my name is Vu. I'm the founder of Goldman Finance. And thank you guys for having us.
Thank you so much for that introduction. And guys, these are, these are very complex projects. There's a lot more happening here than we probably will be able to provide in an hour. So feel free to visit all of these projects' Telegram groups, and to the projects or any of your other folks from the project teams that are here listening, if you want to pin any tweets at the top of this token talk so that folks can access your Twitter or your Telegram groups, or if you have Discord or anything else, please feel free to do so. And thank you for that introduction. The thing with anybody that's calling themselves a stable, the question is, how do I make money off of it? Because a lot of times it's just used as kind of a holding, like a repository, while as people are trading between tokens. So I appreciate that additional explanation for how people can actually make money off of your project.
Yes, I won't take anyone else's time now.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to talk about that later.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so moving on, Nutra Finance. This is, you guys are a newer project. Please introduce yourself and your project briefly.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yep.
Okay, good. All right. So my name is Rodney Gubler, and I am the CEO and founder of Nutra, or Nutraceutical Finance. And what we are is we are a manufacturing token of dietary supplements. And the way it started is that I noticed a reoccurring theme in all of the projects out there, a year ago, the meme coins, the wallets, the swaps, the NFTs and all that. And I thought, you know what? Only 12% of the world invests in crypto. So those tokens can only market their product or, whatever they got going on to 12% of the world. You're missing out on the other 88% of the world. So how could I come up with an idea to reach the rest of the world? And well, my dad started a nutraceutical custom manufacturing plant 35 years ago. I've been in the industry now for 25 years. I work in the research and development department. I formulate OTC drugs or any kind of dietary supplement. I've formulated products for clients all over the world. So I thought to myself, it would be a really cool idea if I could reach out to these projects and see if they'd want a supplement made with their label on it. I didn't have very much luck, so I decided to start my own. So I started Nutra, and what we do is we manufacture supplements, put the Nutra label on it, and we sell the supplements on the open market. And what that does is that brings in revenue. Not only the charts will go up from people investing in the token, but also revenue from the products will also help the charts. This way, I'm able to reach out to the whole world, so I can market my product to everyone. Also, sorry, hold on. Sorry, someone's at my door. I'll ignore it. So also, I'm doing something kind of different with our NFTs. We have NFTs, and revenue from the products will go into our ecosystem and power our NFTs and stuff. But also, I was doing some research on some pharmaceutical companies that are using blockchain technology, and they are implementing the whole process of making their products into their NFTs. So with Nutra, also our NFTs, we're going to have separate NFTs for this, but I'm going to record the whole process of manufacturing these supplements, from the formulation to the manufacturing to the shipping, and all of that will be recorded on to these NFTs or onto the blockchain. These NFTs will also provide a big discount on the supplements that we manufacture, and also the line of supplements that we're doing for Nutra. I will offer a white label service to other projects to where they can come to us and they can choose which supplement they want. I'll manufacture it and put their label on it, which they can in turn, turn around and sell it to the market or put it on the open market. I've already got 3 tokens that are interested in doing a supplement, and I've got one that is interested in doing a doggy chewable vitamin. So yeah, that's a little bit about Nutra. I mean, I'll go into it here in this Twitter space with the questions and stuff, but that's just kind of a brief overview.
Thank you very much. And last but not least, we have Diamond and hello, Hamosi. And I'm not trying to call you out here, but Hamosi is one of the good guys, folks. He helped me out a few weeks ago with a little rug situation. So I'm so happy to have you here. Please introduce yourself and your project briefly.
Thanks. Hey, nice to be here and humble to be a part of this with the other speakers. So really appreciate it. And just a quick shout out to Sphinx. After learning about what you guys do, definitely going to reach out to you guys after this because I think there's a partnership in the making with Diamond Swap. So yeah, great to be here. Thanks for having us. So I'll try and make this as brief as possible, but effectively Diamond Swap is an OTC marketplace and exchange. And it really was born in the bull market and raised in the bear. And we're still building the platform out, and we're trying our best to build it under the radar. And the reason is that it's just an incredibly lucrative market that we're going to be entering really soon. So what Diamond Swap does is just an open marketplace for allowing holders to sell their tokens over the counter so it doesn't affect the chart. When it was first born, we noticed these tokens that were generating a huge amount of volume, and the communities were extremely bullish on the growth trajectory of the chart. And then all of a sudden, you'd see 50, 100, potentially even 200 ETH sales, and that would really damage the sentiment within the community, and therefore the momentum would be massively lost. And so that's what we wanted to do. It's like, how come there's no way that there's an open marketplace, a little bit like eBay, where these big whales can sell their tokens, create a secondary pool of their own on a platform that's available to anyone to purchase. And in doing that, the purchaser gets a huge benefit because they typically circumnavigate the need to pay any buy tax or sell tax when they buy through a secondary market, because it shows up as a transfer. So any smart contracts that don't have a transfer tax, you're not going to be paying any tax when you buy through a pool through Diamond Swap. So that's also a key feature for any whales selling. They're not going to be charged any sell tax when they create the secondary pool on Diamond Swap. So that's a pretty powerful functionality that we're building. Now that is effectively what we built it for. But as the market tanked, we realized that the needs have shifted dramatically from a huge amount of volume and therefore some early buyers becoming significant whales that could jeopardize the chart in a bad way. But now the main pain that a lot of these projects are experiencing is one, the need to get the right influencers on board in the early stages of the project, not having to wait around to hear from the influencer whether they're going to be on board or not. And the second pain is around raising capital to finish any utility that they've got planned. Volumes dried up. They launched their token. They did really well in the first few days, and then all of a sudden the volume's almost gone to nothing. Now, when these projects are reliant on that transactional tax to pay their team, which they've already funding, they need to keep their team on board, they need to finish the games, they need to finish the utility, and there's no volume, that can put a lot of pressure on the projects. And so one of the big key things that we took a bit of a wider view on what we're building and realized how many problems we can actually solve is around raising capital for projects as well. So using the team tokens or any surplus tokens that they might have, they can list those tokens in a pool on the secondary exchange, which is Diamond Swap, and any holders can buy them often at a discount. And what that means is just generate straight volume straight into the marketing wallet. So rather than relying on maybe 3% or 10% of transactional tax to generate the funds you need to drive the project forward, 98% of all the volume that goes through Diamond Swap goes straight into a project-owned wallet. Now, if your project's sitting at $1 million market cap, for example, and you've got 10% supply that you can chuck on Diamond Swap as a secondary pool, that means that close to $100,000 can go straight into the marketing wallet when you need it to either pump marketing or finish utility and pay your team. Now, we were blown away that there wasn't an offering in the market when we came about. And we're confident because the obtainable market is roughly about 100 million volume daily. And because we charge a 2% transaction fee, our daily obtainable volume is about 1.5 to 2 million daily volume in revenue. And we're going to be passing that back to holders too. So it's a super exciting space to enter. We're very close to finishing the tech out, which is exciting. And we're also working with Moontography on a new feature around incentivizing influencers as well. So I'll just recap how that works. A lot of projects find it difficult to get the right influencers on board at the very beginning because the influencers unsure of how the project would go. Through Diamond Swap, rather than creating a pool for a particular wallet address, you can actually allocate it to a Twitter account, a verified Twitter account. They log in, they authenticate that they are the Twitter owner, so say they want Eric Cryptoman. They verify that they've got them, and those tokens sit there available for Eric to purchase at any time post-launch. And if they see that the project's going well, the team's working, Eric can then purchase at the pre-sale rate after it's launched, and then Eric can start pushing the projects, and then it all moves forward together. So that's a really quick summary of what we're doing. Effectively, we're just trying to create an ecosystem that makes it a lot easier and a lot less painful for a project owner to, one, manage pre-sale tokens, two, manage whales and allow them to liquidate in a really beneficial way without affecting the chart, and therefore the sentiment within the community is maintained in a really positive fashion. And then three is to raise that capital when you need it without affecting the chart and raising alarm bells with holders. So yes, super exciting time for us. Once we have launched our platform, we're going to be turning into a low tax token. We're going to be utilizing the tax to become a venture capital firm of our own, and where we invest in projects, early stage projects, blue chip projects, and those projects know that those pre-sellers aren't going to dump on the chart because they're going to be selling through Diamond Swap. So it's a very, very exciting time for us, and we're nearly there. So I hope that all made sense, and thanks again for having us.
Thank you so much for that. And you actually are kind of segueing us into my next question for everybody. The market has been pretty bearish over the last few months. We've seen a lot of projects come and go very, very quickly. Most projects in crypto we know have a quick life cycle. So, you all have managed to, keep your doors open, keep your tokens going, and kind of put your heads down and work on, the project, work on the utilities, and keep building. So, can you talk a little bit about what you've done to ensure growth and sustainability, after your launch initially, in the early days, and really just kind of through the last few months? And this is just an open question to everybody.
Yeah.
So anybody?
Sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
Go for it.
So we were super lucky to launch just at the tail end of the bull market. So we generated a reasonable amount of tax to grow the project forward. But one of the things that I know for sure these other projects can relate to is that the only way to get through is just to show that you've been working hard, and that just allows you to keep going, keep the momentum high. Generate the tax that you need to push forward. But because we are an OTC platform, we've been testing it with a couple of key whales, and they've certainly helped us financially to fund our development team to move forward. So that's basically what the angle we took.
Yeah, and I think in any kind of business and any kind of crypto token, nobody can ever guarantee that you're gonna succeed and always be chugging along. But like how he said, working hard and constantly for us, constantly putting out products and selling them. Like I said, I got 25 years in this. Got lots of connections with stores, with gyms. I've got a full custom manufacturing plant at my fingertips, so my overhead is zero. Just working hard, always putting products out, always marketing them the right way, and bringing in wells into the token. Also having a unique utility like we do with Nutra, is something that a lot of people have put their eyes on, and we are the pioneer in this type of utility, in this part of crypto, and and it's exciting with the possibilities that that are coming our way, and yeah, just working hard and always I don't know, always just manufacturing supplements, and I don't know, I think that's the only way that you can ever succeed in anything.
Yeah, that's a good answer too. You guys are probably gonna hate me. I'm almost scared to share my answer, but we have really we saw this coming, and it's worked well for our community so far. So we chose to peg the PAX G, which is backed by an ounce of gold. So our peg has suffered very, very, very lightly, compared to the rest of the market. While we've seen like core L1s, our network Ethereum and layer twos, I mean, have 60, 70, 80, 90% contraction. PAX G's went down about 5%. So we were able to pitch a really, really stable peg during this time in the market. I actually think it's the reason we're alive today. I think Genesis pools and Tomb Forks were kind of on their way out around when we launched in terms of popularity. But I think our idea and what we pegged to really helped us survive during that time. And I don't know if this makes me sound even worse, but we also have a DAO that's like meant to acquire yield for our participants. So like we're really, really interested in acquiring Ethereum for the new migration to proof of stake. It sounds like you'll need exactly 32 Ethereum. They were just recently available. You could get a full upcoming Ethereum proof of stake node for less than 32,000 US dollars. And different people have different opinions of what's a lot and what's not a lot. But I personally consider that to be very inexpensive for the value that the Ethereum network provides, in being a new version of a miner. So I don't know. For us, it's been really weird being pegged to gold, being on Ethereum, and in the process of using our DAO to invest. We couldn't imagine a better time to be in crypto. Please don't hate me.
Honesty is appreciated. And really, what's interesting to me, because we've done a bunch of these Twitter spaces, and I am really appreciating kind of the evolution of the projects that we're hearing from. I mean, all of these projects are, you guys have legitimate businesses, you're tied to the real world, you're tied to, and you understand the market, not just the crypto market, but the bigger kind of economic picture. So saying things like, we expected this to happen. I mean, we were all talking about this in the fall going into the winter. And so that's why I asked this question is, what have you been doing? You know what's going to happen. You never know when. You can only do so much to prepare, but I think with each of your projects, you kind of have to approach this differently. And I don't think we heard from you, B, yet. So I wanted to give you a chance to answer as well.
Yeah, I was just about to answer. I didn't want to interrupt you. But for us, it was a few different things. I think for Lonzo and I mean, we had pretty decent careers outside of crypto, and so when we came together, we had a set amount that we wanted to commit to the development of the project. Number one, and number two, when we set out to create the ecosystem itself. Um, if you think about, for example, the gold rush, right? There are people who flocked to California because they thought they were going to get rich digging for gold. But the people who really made the killing were the ones who sold them all the shovels and all the equipment, right? And that was the mentality that we took when we were building out the ecosystem, is that we don't want to have a product that's dependent upon just a token tax, for example. So we built in quite a few levers and mechanisms that would allow us to generate revenue and remain sustainable, whether the market was up or whether the market was down. I mean, obviously, when the market takes a downturn, the revenue is going to take a hit. But um, when you have the right mechanisms in place, you still are at least generating enough revenue that you can keep the doors open and continue development and stay alive long enough so that when the market picks up again, you're able to reap the rewards of all your hard work.
You nailed it there, Matt. I just want to add to that too. Like, probably the number one thing is just that sacrifice. Like, everyone in our team, not a single one of our team has taken a payment, any form of income yet since we started. So you can imagine this sort of sacrifice the whole team is making in order to push this forward. That's what's required. So yeah.
Oh yeah, having a good team is essential. I don't think I'd be where I'm at right now if I didn't have the team I got.
Likewise, mate.
Yeah, a team is really the backbone of any solid project, man. I mean, we're extremely blessed that we have the team that we do. They work extremely hard, round the clock, and they're always plugged in with the community, keeping things moving, keeping things alive. So definitely concur with that. Give everything back to the team as well.
And you all, before A asks her next question, I just wanted to say for everyone that's on this AMA, please feel free to share the link for others to come join us. There's an invite button at the bottom of your screen. At least for me, it's in blue, and it's the right-hand corner at the bottom of your screen. You can just share to invite people to come listen.
So I actually have at the top of my screen a little arrow pointing up, and you can share via other things. So I think you have a few options for sharing, but yeah, for sure. And if you haven't already put the link for this in your Telegram, your Discord, your other social media communities, feel free to do so. I see we've got a lot of people coming in and out, but we've consistently had a pretty sizable group. So
yeah, it's a
I
pretty good
appreciate
outcome.
that. Yeah, for sure. And again, for you guys, if you do want to pin anything about your projects at the top, any tweets, feel free to do so. So I did want to move on to ask another question because I see there's folks from all of your communities here. There are also folks from the DeFi Angels community. So we have a mix of, folks that are new to the space, folks that are more experienced in the space. And I always like to, these Twitter spaces where we bring multiple projects in together have always been a great learning opportunity, not just for us, but for, our guest speakers.
Nutra, hit the mic.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think I may have, did I just mute him? Okay. For our guest speakers as well to kind of collaborate, have opportunities to collaborate, to meet each other. And I always like to ask about mistakes made. Because I think there's a lot of folks that they come on these spaces. A lot of people have ideas in crypto. A lot of people say, well, I could work on a project. That's easy. I could do X, Y, and Z. And it really isn't once you get into it. So I always like to ask about, whether you all have words of wisdom, suggestions of things to avoid, or any kind of stories about how you navigated barriers or made mistakes that the rest of us could learn from.
Gosh, I think one of the one of the biggest mistakes I made at the beginning was trying to market my project with you guys are gonna laugh at me, like people that hit you up on Telegram and say they can do certain things. I mean, I didn't put out a lot of money, but I don't know. I think that's a waste. I think promoting it yourself in a unique way and paying those influencers all that money, I don't think that really works. Find one that's a good influencer, that's honest, that doesn't that's not like, that doesn't just take money to promote something. Somebody that actually believes in the project. I think that would be one good word of wisdom for anybody who wants to start a project.
Before anybody else answers, I was kind of chuckling here as you were talking about influencers, because I think folks definitely have kind of mixed views on how and when and whether even to use influencers at all. And I think as the markets are changing, it seems to be, that folks are using influencers very differently now than they were a few months ago.
Yeah. Well, you can see these big influencers promoting these tokens and just completely manipulating the new investors who come in, but yet that token is still not doing that well. Some influencers will just take the money and like they don't care about the project. They'll promote it for a bit, make their money, and then bounce. I don't know. I just think it's one thing that a lot of people in crypto need to kind of watch out for in a way.
100%. And sorry to make a bit of a plug on Diamond Swap, but that's exactly the issue that Diamond Swap will solve, which is pretty exciting. So a project owner typically has either the marketing wallet or tokens to offer an influencer to promote their project and grow it. And a lot of the times they offer tokens because it's cheap, but then those tokens get dumped on the chart and the influencer doesn't do much for the project at all. The other one is that the marketing wallet just gets dwindled down if you use that. So how Diamond Swap works is you allocate tokens, create a pool of tokens on Diamond Swap, and you allocate them to the influencer. They accept those tokens, but when they sell those tokens, if they want to basically turn it into a revenue for themselves, they can only sell it through the OTC platform, which means they can generate the ETH from the tokens, but those sales will never show on the chart.
Yeah,
So
without the price impact.
Exactly right. Without the price impacts, and you can even set a vesting period. So you can say, okay, thanks, Eric, for jumping on board as an influencer. I'd like to see you promote us and really enjoy what we're doing and believe in what we're doing for 30 days. And then those tokens can be sold through the OTC platform if you wish. So, yeah, some pretty powerful features that just protect the projects there.
Yeah, that's super cool. We definitely suffered. I noticed everybody jumped in on the same thing, and I was going to talk about something else, but that's actually the best advice. If you're a founder, reach out to your heroes individually, your YouTube influencers, your partner projects. Reach out to everyone by yourself and earn that spot, because there is no person, any person who tells you that they will reach out to 10 or 20 people on your behalf and get you these YouTubers and Twitterers and partners and stuff like that. They are lying to you and they will steal your money. And I don't mean to be so passionate about this, but
No,
I'm
it's
pretty
true.
sure there's like 4 or 5 projects up here who've been through this to the tunes of tens of
Yeah.
thousands of dollars or more. So yeah, believe in yourself. Believe in the people you believe in. I mean, having that level of confidence actually helps generate the right actions. But yeah, there's no company, there's no influencer package or anything like that exists in the world that'll take your protocol from 0 to 100. It's that team commitment and team devotion we were hearing about from some of these guys tonight, and it's using any spend capital on some advertising, which is okay, in an intelligent way. That's my opinion, and it was learned the hard way for anyone who's curious.
No, I agree with you 100%. 100%.
On that last comment, it's making me think of, again, like as we've done these Twitter spaces, it's just the shift from what we're hearing from the projects is so dramatic because as recently as a couple months ago, the answers, and I tend to ask like similar questions just because everybody has such different answers, but a lot of the projects were talking about how important the community is, and not to downplay the importance of community in continuing to keep a project going, but the focus from projects that seem to be sustaining themselves and sustaining the utility and continuing to grow, it seems like the focus starts with the team and with the passion and with having a real product, and then the community will trickle in, the community will buy in when they see the commitment and the passion from the team.
Yep.
100%.
Yeah, I think people tend to invest in people they believe in instead of just ideas. I can tell you I've been on both ends of that coin, where I've heard someone that I truly believed in, that I didn't understand their idea, and it gave me, at least the pause to hear them out and understand it further. And also the opposite, where I've heard really cool ideas, but I wasn't confident in the team. Maybe they weren't KYC'd or doxed, or they weren't willing to go through an audit, or whatever it might have been. But I've definitely been on both ends of that before. And I think you hit the nail on the head there, A. It's like it's both. You have to meet the team and hear them speak and know you can believe in them. But if they don't have the community behind them that feels the same way, if there's anything that's like inauthentic, like paid Twitter, Discord shills or bot members and stuff like that. It shows itself so early, and that's what leads to those short projects you kind of brought up at the beginning. I think that almost takes the conversation full circle.
For sure. And the other part to that is, the space, it's crypto still not, DeFi especially, is still not that big of a space. And a lot of us know each other and are getting to know each other. So the longer we're kind of in this, we see patterns. As people change to using other alts to develop new projects, you can still see patterns from folks that, have done things in the past. So it's getting a little bit easier in some ways to kind of spot that authenticity and to spot, the inauthenticity.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. But that's definitely for the type of investor that participates in these spaces and chooses to do your own research. Actually look into each one of these protocols, read their docs, decide what you don't like, what you don't like. It also comes with a little bit of responsibility, maybe on the participant too.
Yeah, and one important thing I think in crypto is doxing. And I know a lot of people say doxing doesn't mean anything, but no, doxing does mean something. People should be doxed. The devs should be doxed. The team should be doxed. That way you can see them, you can do your research on them. Check out all their profiles, their social medias. Maybe 10-15% of the time it's not really them, but most of the time it is. I think that's one thing I actually look for when I look into a project, is to see if everything's doxed.
All right. I'm just looking at the time and I'm trying to be conscious of everybody's very busy schedules. So I will ask one last question because I know that everybody's kind of had their heads down and all you guys have been doing a ton of work on your projects. So do you have any news for folks listening about any exciting things coming in the near future from any of your projects? I heard a little bit about a collab from Homosi and Sphinx.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to touch base with Sphinx. I think with our new tax structure, once we release, and we'll be a venture capital firm, to support what they're doing with their launchpad would be amazing. But the only sort of little bit of alpha that we haven't officially released yet is that we'll be working with Moontography, Lance, around this influencer feature where you can allocate tokens to an influencer via their Twitter handle, so you're influencing the right person. And then they don't need to buy before launch. That's the most powerful thing. They can see how it goes before they buy in, and then they can push it forward from there. So that's a little bit of alpha for you. We've got a whole lot more coming shortly, but we just have to be a little bit tight-lipped as we work through a partnership in the background. But just wanted to say, lastly, thank you so much for having us, and really great to be here. So thanks so much.
One thing about Nutra is our first product is coming out probably next week or the week after. It's going to be a powdered energy drink mix that I formulated. What we're going to do is we're going to do about 10,000 packets. They're in stick packs. What you do is you just open it up and put it in a bottle of water. And for promoting and marketing the token, we're just going to be giving them away. So if you want to join our Telegram, we'll give them to the holders. We'll give them to the community. We're going to give them to the influencers. We're going to just give them away. So you're going to see a Nutra product everywhere in the crypto space. And then our second product actually is coming out soon after that too.
Awesome. You heard it here first. Vu, anything from you guys?
Yeah, I will try to keep this short. So we have a whole new UI coming out. If you've been on our website, if you're someone who actually knows Goldman Finance, or maybe you're checking us out for the first time, we're releasing a new UI. We want everything we have to be twice as good without rolling out any new features. Not even talking about new stuff, just better data. We have a partnership with Olympus Pro, and their bonds are complicated. And just having the ROI and the current price and the data feeds update faster and better and things like that are a huge part of our push. For people who want to learn what they can do tomorrow outside of having the whole system work better, in the UI UX. We have PaxG single staking coming soon. We're huge fans of PaxG. If you leave this space and don't even learn about Goldman, please learn about PaxG in the bear market. They are a gold-backed token. They're amazing. So we're going to be doing some stuff to set up rewards for them. We have NFTs coming out, our own NFTs and collab NFTs. Our NFTs are stocked with Goldman tokens. Our collab NFTs are stocked with shared Goldman tokens. I don't know. Monkey's here. I got my operations manager listening to me, so I might have to be a little bit careful. But there's even more than that. We have some gamified share nodes that we're working on. There's a lot of cool stuff going on the back end at Goldman Finance.
Awesome. Thank you. How about you guys? Yes, thanks.
Cool. Well, we have a few things that we're cooking up. Like I mentioned just last night, we officially now have fiat to crypto on our mobile app. In probably the next couple of weeks, we'll also have crypto back to fiat, so you'll be able to buy and then sell and withdraw back to your debit card or your bank account. As well, we now have our bridge that's about to go live. You'll be able to bridge USDC on Binance Chain over to the Crow chain as well. Users can come on, they can add LP if they like, right? So if people want to come in and stake, that you'll be able to add LP for USDC on either side, and you'll earn some Sphinx as yield as well. In addition to that, I'm not sure how much the news has gone around, but quite recently we engaged with a VC not too long ago. They're a $3.4 billion hedge fund. We have an agreement with them for up to $50 million in funding. And so with that, we're going to be utilizing that, as it becomes available to really push much harder to deliver more of the milestones on our roadmap, to push extremely hard on marketing as well, and facilitate some buybacks as well. So we have a lot coming. We have a lot in store. We're super excited about how we're going to close out this quarter and the rest of the year.
Thank you so much for that. And I'm seeing, so we still got 47 people on this call. And Kay, did we have something that we wanted to announce?
Yeah, so I know it was with, I think it was Lonzo. Day, do you have do you have any information on an NFT giveaway via Sphinx?
Let me confer with my consigliere. Give me one moment.
Please, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
We might have one up on the Jumbotron. I think it's like maybe the third one over off in the end with a like, retweet, and tag a friend. It shares this space and our link tree for a chance to win a share Goldman token. So if anyone's looking for something to do while they check that out, that's at the top of your screen there.
Yep, I see it. All you have to do is slide over a couple screens.
Yeah, so Kay, we actually have 3 NFTs to give away on Crow.
Nice, even better than one.
Yes, ma'am.
Fantastic.
How do you want that to happen? How should that work? Any idea? I mean, you can always just give them to me, but I don't think everyone here would be happy with that. So
So are we going to do like a Q&A? Usually what we'll do is we'll do like the best 3 questions that we get if we do a Q&A.
All right, folks, raise your hand to speak. If you have any questions, now's your chance to possibly win an NFT.
Maybe give one to JXJ. That PFP is hilarious if you scroll down.
Love it. We can also help too if needed. If you need somebody to bang out a tweet to follow, like DeFi Angels or something like that, to enter for a chance to win, just let us know and we'll make it happen.
That would be great. I think what we can do is here, I do see somebody's requesting to speak, so I'll let you up. Maybe we can take a screenshot of who's in the room and Kay, if you want to do the giveaway either on our main page or on the Sphinx page, we can contact those people on Twitter and just put their names into the Telegram group.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Yeah, I'm down. Let's do that. Via our page.
And I just let up Radam. Hi there.
Thank you. I'm really enjoying the EMA. Thanks for giving me the chance to speak right now. Can you hear me, guys? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yep, we hear you just great.
Okay. Perfect. So my question is for B, because I want to know more about FinSlabs. And I remember in the roadmap, they have something about NFT marketplace. I want to see if there's any update about it.
I'm glad you asked. Yeah, so we actually are still developing that, and it's funny because what we're planning to do, Uniswap actually did about like 2.5, 3 weeks ago. But I mean, so what Uniswap did is they actually bought an aggregator called gem.xyz. So what gem.xyz does is it allows you to view listings across all NFT marketplaces. So not just OpenSea, but like LooksRare, X2Y2, etc. And then execute trades like through the Uniswap platform. So we were thinking about doing something similar where one, like we have our own native marketplace. Potentially, well, this part we're still exploring, so don't quote me on it. Potentially with the ability to stake and earn rewards, kind of like what Looks Rare does. But what we definitely have planned is that that aggregator feature similar to what Uniswap and Gem has, where you can list and trade your NFTs not only on our platform but across OpenSea listings, Looks Rare listings, X2Y2 listings, etc., and across other chains as well. So yeah, to answer your question, yeah, that's still on the roadmap. We're still working on developing that.
So if we're talking about NFTs real quick, I just wanted to mention something about ours. A couple of guys on my team, they have some land in the metaverse. And so with Nutra, we're going to open up a supplement shop where with our NFTs, you can go into the supplement shop and you can purchase any of the supplements that we're doing for Nutra and that we're doing for the other tokens or the other projects that we've been working with. You can get discounts with it. And so we'll have two different supplement shops in the metaverse. I think it's going to kind of be like a GNC, but for the metaverse.
Very cool. Radam, I'm going to put you back in the listeners group. If you have any other questions, please feel free to come back up. And I did invite up, what is this, Nutra Beast. Hi, did you have a question?
Yep. Thank you so much for this AMA. It's fantastic at the moment. And I just wanted to put this out to the other three projects because I know Nutra Finance for their community are having a house giveaway. Sorry, I've got my 3-year-old in the background. So I just wanted to know if the other three communities are doing anything for their other three projects are actually doing anything for the communities.
Yeah, I don't know how the order of operations is supposed to work here. But just kind of like we dropped the shared Goldman thing at the top over here at Goldman Finance. I actually had the best advice ever from. So my co-founder, he's not on here with me. I have some of my team I can see here in the audience. My co-founder's Doc, and we don't call him Doc because it's a cool name. He's an actual MD, and he's a great guy. He's got 2 kids. And one of his kids said to me early on, they're like, you know about Mr. Beast on YouTube? And I said, a kid, for lack of a better name at the moment, I'm not cool enough to know what all these guys do. I know who he is. And he's like, it's the giveaways. You got to give back. You got to give somebody something every time you talk. And it's funny, and that really resonated with me. So for us over at Goldman, we try to do a lot of giveaways in all the places that we're social. So like on our Twitter, on our Telegram, on our Discord, we try to have giveaways for the community, you know, that if you engage in a way or listen to our spaces or things like that. But you'll also find that like with our collabs, we're really strong too. If we have a partner and we release an NFT series together or something like that, we're not a bunch of like gift pushers. Each one of those comes with rewards from the ecosystem and things like that. So we definitely do it while we talk and engage with the community, and then also while we engage with our partners over here at Goldman. That would probably be our answer.
Cool. Love that answer, by the way. For us, I mean, everything that we do is just about our holders. So we're passing the profits back of the OTC platform back to holders. And it has actually brought up some complexities legally. So we've got a legal team in London who are helping us out, ensuring that we follow the guidelines and can pass profits back to holders in a
Isn't
legal
that a
sense.
lot of fun?
So that's going to be cool. Yeah, man, holy moly. It was just a whole rabbit hole. So I think we're actually going to have to do either NFTs or staking in order to pass those profits back to holders. But that's what we're all about. We started as a rewards token. I think we ended up giving back about $500,000 in ETH to our holders so far. So it's a pretty exciting time, and that's scratching the surface to what we anticipate we'll do through the OTC platform. So yeah, pretty exciting.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, there's a lot of it's a fine line when you start promising stuff to holders, because then you get involved with the SEC and your token can be considered a security token. That's why we had actually we have a lawyer on board also that has helped us immensely with the way that we distribute the revenue from the sales of all the products. We have to do it in a certain way to where 100% of the revenue from those sales goes into a corporate wallet. And then with that corporate wallet, as a team, we decide what we're going to do with it, whether it be a buyback or a burn, whether it be giveaways, whether it be contests, whatever we decide. But 100% of that, 100% from the revenue goes directly to the holders in one way or another. But mostly it's to boost up our charts. So most of it is for the buybacks and burns.
Hell yeah. That's it's best for the participants. And I'll tell you, Eth Ape and I, we have like kind of like three core principles with partners. And it's are they KYC'd or docs? If they've been willing to go through an audit, and do they believe they're legally compliant in their jurisdiction? I can't, blockchain is complicated. It's hard to know exactly.
Yeah.
But do you believe that you're operating under the guidelines as they're best described? And when we see a protocol that kind of checks all three of those boxes, and I guess we just met one with Nutra tonight and a couple others as well, it definitely catches our eye.
Yeah, you have to be careful. I mean, 90% of the tokens out there in the crypto world that do certain things, they're gonna be shut down.
Oh yeah, their founders would be jailed in the States. That's where I'm from.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
This is like music to my ears to hear you guys talking about having lawyers on board, because I happen to be a lawyer.
Yep.
I'm not a crypto lawyer, but putting as many heads on the project as possible, just so you have all of those different points of view, and particularly when it comes to the legal side and possible compliance issues, possible regulatory issues, possible SEC question. I mean, all of these things, we know regulation's coming. We don't know what it's going to look like, but there are definitely some things that projects can do to protect themselves in the meantime. Just to, do you think about those things? Like, should we register ourselves as an LLC? Should we, be doxing at least to each other? What are we doing about things like multi-sig? And, just like these basic questions that a lot of folks don't think about until much, much later. And then, you have to answer to your holders when they start asking questions, and when, some of these more complex things start coming up. I did
Our lawyer
invite...
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, go ahead.
Our lawyer actually is a crypto lawyer, and we've paid pretty good for it. She wrote us a 16-page opinion letter that we've got, and we'll put it on our website. Our whole disclaimer, everything that we have about our company project company, whatever you want to call it, it everything goes along with the regulations of the SEC. So that's one thing that we had to do when we started our project, and that's one thing that we had to do in order to get onto Defiant Platform. We use Defiant Platform for our launchpad, and they're the ones who are in charge of our contract. So like everything about Nutra is 100% legit. So when these regulations do come out, we're going to be totally cool.
Thank you for that. I did invite Mark up as a speaker. I think you probably have a couple questions. Welcome.
Hey everyone, just got one question from someone on the bridge that can't actually voice chat, directed mostly towards Sphinx, but if anyone else has info on it, it'd be good to know. There was a question raised about what's happening with the Sphinx P2P game.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear any. What was that?
I'll try again. One of the guys on the bridge that can't get through on audio wanted to know what was happening with the Sphinx P2P game.
First, you're talking about the play to earn game for Sphinx.
I think that's what he's referring to. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Got it.
I'll shut up.
Got it. Yeah, that's so we had begun development on the game. The challenge that we ran into is that we saw what was happening with a lot of other P2Es in the space, and the fact that the economic models that they had just weren't sustainable. Just in the sense that people would farm the token or farm whatever currency they were earning, and then at some point, because the economic models that were always being used were inflationary, the value would be depressed. There would be way too much sell side pressure as people would earn the token and dump it. And so we still have plans to do it, but we want to do it in a way where people are actually going to be able to extract sustainable value from it, and not in a way where the game has a 90-day or 6-month life cycle before people say, oh well, I can't really earn doing this anymore, when we move on to the next thing, right? The best example, like recent example of that, would be a game called DeFi Kingdoms, that launched on Harmony. They had a lot of hype for quite a while. The token that ran the ecosystem was called Jewel, and I think it had a pretty crazy run. And obviously, like, the price peaked. There were a couple of like guilds in that game or in that ecosystem that just found a way to to farm the shit out of it. Excuse my language. And then as they started to offload, price dumped. It never recovered. They even bridged over to Avalanche, with a new token called Crystal, and that had similar results. And I mean, even Axie Infinity, multi-billion-dollar market cap, P2E, same thing. So, are we still developing it? Yes. We want to do it right. We want to do it in a way that's actually going to be rewarding, and not so much predatory. So hopefully that answers your question.
Cool. Thanks.
Okay, I'm just going to give a minute for anybody else that has any questions and might be interested in winning a free NFT as you're thinking about your questions. And while we do that, we will be, doing some more token talks in the future for sure. I think we were talking about doing them on Thursday nights at 8. But if anybody has ideas for projects that might be good for this space, please feel free to contact me or contact Kay, to talk about, whether it might work out. And also, we have pinned at the top, the DeFi Angels Women's Investment Network link for our Telegram group, as well as our main chat for DeFi Angels. The Women's Investment Network is for women only. We do get a lot of guys trying to join the group, but it is a women's only group. So just a heads up on that. And I'm not seeing any other requests for speakers, so I am going to take advantage of this as I'm looking at the time as well to thank B, Vu, Rodney, and Hamosi. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. This was a great overview of Sphinx, Goldman Finance, nutraceuticals, and Diamond Swap. We will follow up with some tweets on how folks can access more information on all of these great projects. And please continue to check out the DeFi Angels Twitter for upcoming information on our next Twitter space. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good night.
Thank you very much for letting me be here. I really had a good time.
Yeah, thanks for hosting us. This was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.